Hello everyone and warm greetings to all. I am Sonia Chand Sandhu from the Asian Development Bank's Independent Evaluation Department. Together with our team, it's a pleasure to welcome you to the 7th Asian Evaluation Week, hosted as a hybrid event. Our on-site location is at ADB headquarters in Manila and at the AFDI campus in Shanghai and the Ministry of Finance in Beijing. Panelists and participants have joined us virtually from across the world, just as I am joining from India, as well as at the on-site locations. Simultaneous translation is enabled for all discussions. This year, this ever-expanding platform has gathered around 91 nationalities from more than 100 multifaceted organizations. Let me now introduce our honored guests who will set the stage for the next 3 days. Joining from Beijing, from the People's Republic of China, Vice Minister Zhu Zhongming, Ministry of Finance. Welcome, sir. Joining from Shanghai, the Vice President of the Shanghai National Accounting Institute and the Asia Pacific Finance and Development Institute, Mr. Liu Xin, and all distinguished guests and participants. A very warm welcome to all of you. Joining from the Asian Development Bank, Manila, Mr. Woochong, Managing Director General, and Mr. Emmanuel Jimenez, Director General, Independent Evaluation Department. Welcome, sirs. And once again, to all participants joining from all over the world, we are all eagerly looking forward to very rich discussions across the 3 sub-themes covering cutting-edge topics, addressing the challenges that we are all facing today as we chart roadmaps to recover from the pandemic. I will just now invite VP Liu to introduce our distinguished guests and moderate the proceedings ahead. Over to you, VP Liu.
好，谢谢苏丽亚女士。尊敬的朱仲明副部长，严友忠管理总干事，耶梅尼尔·西门内斯局长，各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们，早上好。为了更加深入地推进全球和亚洲地区绩效管理和评价事业的高效开展，促进经济绿色包容和有韧性的复苏，今天来自世界50多个国家、100多个机构的评价从业者齐聚一堂，参加由中华人民共和国财政部和亚洲开发银行联合举办，亚洲开发银行独立评价局、上海国家会计学院及亚太财经发展学院联合承办的2022年亚洲评价周，共谋评价大业，共绘美好的未来。当前，在新冠肺炎疫情等因素的冲击下，全球经济呈现出动能不足、增长持续放缓的态势，复苏举步维艰。面对挑战，评价从业者们如何利用好并不断创新绩效评价这一强有力的工具，为推动全球经济高质量和可持续复苏贡献力量，非常值得关注和思考。因此，今年的亚洲评价周将围绕重塑评价、促进绿色、包容和有韧性的复苏这一重要的主题。朋友们，现在请允许我介绍将在开幕式部分致辞的3位嘉宾。第一位是中华人民共和国财政部副部长朱宗明先生。第2位是亚洲开发银行管理总干事严友忠先生。第3位是亚洲开发银行独立评价局局长埃米纽斯·基门内尔先生。大家都知道，2016年伊始，中国财政部和亚洲开发银行联合发起了亚洲评价周系列年度活动，至今为止已经成为成功举办了6届，今年是第7届。6年来，亚洲评价周的品牌价值逐渐显现， 概念和影响力日益扩大，证明了该活动获得了全球评价界和公共管理部门高度认可和肯定。特别值得一提的是，在亚洲评价周成长的历程中，其走过的每一步都离不开中华人民共和国财政部的大力支持和指导。朋友们，首先让我们隆重邀请中国财政部朱宗明副部长为2020亚洲评价周致开幕词，大家欢迎。
尊敬的袁友忠总干事，尊敬的伊门尼尔·西门内斯局长，尊敬的各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们，大家上午好。在这金秋9月丹桂飘香的美好时节里，由中华人民共和国财政部与亚洲开发银行主办，亚洲开发银行独立评价局与上海国家会计学院、亚太财经与发展学院联合承办的2022年亚洲评价周活动隆重开幕。首先，我谨代表中华人民共和国财政部，向本届活动的顺利举办表示诚挚的祝贺，向来自国内外的参会专家和代表们表示热烈欢迎，向世界银行、欧洲复兴开发银行、联合国有关机构等多个国际组织、区域内各国政府、学术机构对本次活动的大力支持，以及亚洲开发银行独立评价局等各相关部门和机构所做的周到安排，表示衷心的感谢。亚洲评价周活动创办于2016年，作为区域内颇具知名度的能力建设和沟通交流平台，亚洲评价周旨在促进国际社会绩效评价领域的知识分享，也协助各个政府部门和相关评价机构理论专家分享评价经验，获得管理和应用评价的前沿知识。在过去的6年里，亚洲评价周始终与区域内绩效评价工作的推广和发展一路同行，从无到有，从萌芽到壮大，焕发出蓬勃生机。通过思想的碰撞，大家不仅加深了对绩效管理理论和实践的理解和认知，更新了绩效评价理念和方式，还在深入的探讨交流中锻炼了评价能力，加强了人才队伍的建设。如今，亚洲评价周在区域内绩效评价领域已经具有一定影响力，受到了大家的高度关注和重视，也获得了广泛的赞誉和一致好评。作为第7届亚洲评价周，今年的活动将围绕重塑评价、促进绿色、包容和有韧性的复苏这一颇具创新性和前瞻性的主题展开，共举办近20场知识分享活动。未来3天，我们将聆听到许多评价领域资深专家的真知灼见，不仅涉及评价气候行动中的转型变革，评估气候融资等许多热点和难点问题，还涉及大家关心的提高农民应对气候冲击能力的远程和数据工具等重要问题。此外，我们还安排了助力绿色、包容、韧性增长的中国财政预算与评价实践等特色主题。可以说，本次活动是一场推动评价工作高质量发展、迸发新思维和新理念的盛会，必将对各个深入开展绩效评价工作带来深刻的启示。各位嘉宾、朋友们，面对新的发展环境和新的发展要求，我们必须清楚地认识到，开展高水平的 知识分享活动，搭建高效率的能力建设平台，对绩效评价的未来发展至关重要。只有不断学习和交流，才能加快推动区域合作，切实提高绩效评价工作的效率和质量。中国有句古话：“九层姿台，起于垒土；千里之行，始于足下。”虽然绩效评价能力建设工作任重而道远，但我们相信，在各方的不断努力与通力合作下，绩效评价工作的明天会更好。让我们一起乘着亚洲评价舟这艘知识之船，友谊之舟，在新征程中乘风破浪，共同驶向充满光亮的远方。最后，预祝本次活动取得圆满成功，谢谢大家。
谢谢朱部长对亚洲评价周活动的影响和作用给予了高度的肯定，也对本次活动的开展给予了殷切的希望。相信与会的每一位同行都备受鼓舞，这也更使我们努力要把这次活动办好。再次感谢朱部长。中国作为世界上最大的发展中国家，近年来立足本国国情，积极推进预算绩效管理改革，积累了不少的宝贵经验，也为其他的发展中国家贡献了中国的案例。这些成绩的取得离不开中国财政部各相关市局和有关单位长期不懈的努力和通力的合作。今天这个财政部预算司王建凡司长、国际经济关系司杨英明司长、国际财经合作司陈志军司长、会计师李先忠司长、监督评价局杨瑞金局长、预算评审中心李方旺主任、中国财经报社万平社长、会计师高大平副司长、预算评价局刘英副局长、中国经济发展机制基金管理中心夏颖哲副主任、中央财经大学马海刀副家长等领导和专家也从百忙之中拨冗出席开幕式。那我们也表示衷心的感谢，感谢各位领导一直以来对亚洲评价周活动的大力支持和帮助。朋友们，虽然很多国家在推进绩效评价工作过程中都取得了可喜的进步，但对公共资金开展绩效评价仍然是区域内很多发展中国家的新生事物。我们仍面临着一些共同的困难和挑战，例如绩效评价的理论、技术以及管理能力存在不足等等。这不仅影响了绩效评价的质量和水平，也在一定程度上降低了评价结果的社会公信力。鉴于此，早在2007年，当时的中国财政部国际司、世界银行独立评价局、亚洲开发银行独立评价局以及亚太财经发展学院的前身，就是亚太财经发展中心，联合创办了上海国际绩效评价培训项目，就是 ShipDex， 积极推动了亚太地区发展中国家的绩效评价能力的建设。在原有工作的基础上，我们又于2016年创办了亚洲评价周系列年度活动，为来自亚洲和世界各国从事评价工作的各界人士提供了一个高效率的集中交流和知识平台。下面我恳请大家与我一起用热烈的掌声欢迎我们重要的合作伙伴亚洲开发银行管理总干事严友忠先生致辞。
Vice Minister Zhao, Director General Emmanuel Jimenez, especially Manny for allowing me to welcome you to ADB officially. He joined the ADB during the pandemic, so I didn't actually have a chance to physically welcome him. So this is a great opportunity for me to do so. Distinguished guests and all the organizers who are connected here physically, as well as the virtually. And also, I understand we have like 600 people connected across the world. Welcome, everybody. I wish the next meeting can be all physical, so we can actually all see each other. And especially in China, I haven't been there for several years, and I need to go there as soon as it's easy to get to. So looking forward to doing them maybe next year, hopefully. This learning is a very important part of our work and every day, our lives every day. And this reminds me of my favorite quote from John Quincy Adams. If your actions inspire to others to do more, be more and become more and learn more, you are a great leader. So learning is very, very essential to everything we do, especially in the Asian Development Bank, for us to become a learning organization. So I very much welcome this opportunity to participate in the Asian Evaluation Week, which I did participate virtually, I think through recorded messages in the past. So this is a big change for me, and I very much welcome that. And this AEW has established itself as a very much a sought out knowledge sharing and knowledge learning platform for the last 7 years. And this extends much beyond the evaluation community. It's all of the development community as a whole. And it's clearly initiatives such as this are crucial for ADB to become a learning organization. And this is really important for ADB at this stage because we are trying to spearhead many, many changes so that we can support the developing countries to eradicate poverty. So I'm sure you've seen ADB Strategy 2030. It doesn't actually talk about poverty too much compared to the previous ones, but that's still very much the overarching objective. But we are trying to achieve that through prosperity, inclusiveness, sustainability, and resilience. So we have to very much be learning about ourselves, and the life is not that simple anymore. So you can't just build roads and be done with it. You do need to learn from our experience and be able to do better as we move along. So Asian Development Bank under Strategy 2030 is very well positioned to help the developing countries eradicate poverty by building sustainable development and resilience. And for example, last year, our Strategy 2030, and when it was developed in 2018, 2019, we established the ambition for climate finance to $80 billion for the period of 2019 to 2030. But in last year, we decided to up the ambition to $100 billion, that $20 billion more for all of the climate finance, which also included the $34 billion in adaptation. And we also have, as aligned with the Strategy 2030, our gender program is very much incorporated into our operations so that we can have at least 75% of all of the operations to be gender relevant. And also not just for public sector investments, but also private sector non-sovereign investments to have the same kind of ambition as well. So from the Independent Evaluation Department, IED, there are lots of learnings coming from this department that we are doing every day. And for example, learnings from topical evaluation studies with rich sources of analysis and highly credible evidence provide solutions for what worked on the ground and also what did not work on the ground. Sometimes as a development professionals, you don't want to hear what didn't work, right? But I think that's actually very important for us to know that. And I really commend ID for helping us identify the blind spots as well. And also at the same time, learning from the formative evaluation, such as the real-time evaluation we've done for a number of different issues, including the COVID-19 response, provides Asian Development Bank operations an opportunity for real-time learning so that we can improve and tweak as necessary as we tackle any challenges. And also we have lots of evaluation studies across various sectors and themes. And these studies are rich in knowledge and experience. And this is really vital for us to become much more innovative and be able to be agile so that we can be much more meaningful using new technology and leapfrog the development path to the much better future. And I've always been very much impressed with the IED's emphasis on the evaluation knowledge management. It's not just about doing the evaluation, but sharing the experience through the evaluation process the actual evaluation itself, so that others can also build in their own evaluation system within their system, within the Asian Development Bank, but also outside all of our development partners, the developing countries. And this is really crucial for us, for all of us, to be much more effective. So we hope that in the future we can harness the knowledge, and we can't just hide behind the fact that there's lack of capacity everywhere. I think there's enough opportunity for us to overcome that. The IED's Evaluation Academy has systemized learning in coordination with our operations departments through very well structured learning activities, which are custom made to meet the country's development needs. I wish we can continue that. And the trainings and workshops on project evaluation for AEDB staff and our partners in member countries have strengthened the evaluation skills of the AEDB staff, as well as the counterparts in the government and other development partners and implementing agencies that AEDB is providing support. So the Asian Evaluation Week provides a very good platform for countries and development partners to share knowledge on evaluation approaches, practices, and lessons and experiences within and between Asia and other regions as well. And this catalyzes the use of the role of the evaluation in development effectiveness by promoting an interface between policymakers and evaluators across the world. So I wish you a very fruitful discussion today, and it's a pleasure to be here. And like I said, hopefully the next one we can see all 600 of you, face to face somewhere. Thank you very much.
好，谢谢严友忠管理总干事的精彩致辞啊。这个您的致辞让我们了解了亚洲开发银行的最新的工作的情况，以及对亚洲发展的贡献。相信明年严友忠先生一定有机会到北京和上海来。事实上，我们每一届亚洲评价周活动之所以能够顺利的举办，都离不开亚洲开发银行所给予的大力的支持。接下来我们欢迎我们的新力的合作伙伴，也是亚洲评价周活动一直以来的联合承办方，亚洲开发银行独立评价局局长西门内斯先生致辞，大家欢迎。
Vice Minister Zhu Zhongming of Ministry of Finance of People's Republic of China, MDG and colleague Woochong from the ADB, Vice President Li Chen of AFDI SNAI, our distinguished guests from the Ministry of Finance of PRC, friends and colleagues. Mabuhay, or as we say in the Philippines, long life whenever we want to welcome people. It's a great honor for me to help open this 2022 Asian Evaluation Week, or AEW. As Vice Minister has said, it's in its 7th year, and the AEW has become Asia's premier evaluation knowledge sharing platform. While I've participated in several past AEWs, this is my first time as Director General of one of the main co-sponsors, ADB's Independent Evaluation Department, or IED. An important part of IED's mandate, as Woochong mentioned, is to build evaluation capacity in the region. We do this through a number of platforms, but our flagship is the AEW. That's why we're so proud of the contributions we've made to what it has become. And we value our close collaboration with the Ministry of Finance of PRC, and especially, of course, the Shanghai National Accounting Institute and the Asia Pacific Finance and Development Institute of the People's Republic of China. I'd like to focus my opening remarks on why SNAI, AFDI, and IED have chosen this year's theme, which is a bit of a mouthful, but a very meaningful one. It is reframing evaluation for green, inclusive, and resilient recovery. As the world recovers from the pandemic, we all talk about adjusting to the so-called new normal. Now, this doesn't mean picking up where we left off in March of 2020. After all, as we adjusted to the COVID crisis, we as individuals took the opportunity to assess our practices and behaviors. Which ones should we keep? Which ones should we shed? Which new ones should we take up? As the world tries to build back better, we as evaluators also need to adjust or to reframe. In doing so, we need to gather evidence that will help decision makers recover in a way that addresses the longer term challenges of green, inclusive, and resilient development. Why green? For the last decade was likely the hottest in the last 125,000 years. I certainly felt that in some of the cities I visited this summer. Transformative investments are needed to harness low carbon opportunities to support green growth. Why inclusive? While countries in Asia have experienced rapid economic growth, they've also experienced higher inequalities. And global estimates say that up to 95 million people may have been thrust back into poverty in 2022 due to COVID. Policies will thus need to put people first by promoting inclusiveness, especially by creating jobs, and as Woochong mentioned, ensuring gender equality. Resilience. 3.3 billion people, or almost half of the world's population, are vulnerable to climate change, such as severe drought, floods, heat waves, extreme weather disturbances, and sea level rise. And most of them are in Asia and the Pacific. In fostering resilience of their system, countries cannot continue on a business as usual approach. Our evaluation discipline can contribute enormously as the new normal plays out. Evaluation is critical to gathering, analyzing, and using evidence to support informed decisions and solutions related to the longer-term issues of green, inclusive, and resilient development. We've tried to do this in IED to a number of ways. For example, we've done evaluations that emphasize the need for ADB to moderate and adapt its environmental and social safeguards policies. We've also just done a thematic evaluation on climate change to help ADB reassess how it supports low carbon initiatives in the future. We're confident that this 2022 AEW will contribute significantly to reframing evaluation for this new normal that we're expecting. As Vice Minister mentioned, we've assembled a very fascinating array of topics, and that will be discussed by my colleague shortly and described to you. But in addition to these topics, we're also assessing and presenting ways on how evaluation can be done by presenting new tools, methods, and processes that need to be reframed. The past few years have forced some of this change on us. For example, we in IED have had to do some evaluations from afar because of travel restrictions. Also, our evaluators have had to innovate to gather information in a more timely and less costly way through using big data, artificial intelligence, social media mining, and GIS to improve our information base. And finally, as Woochong also mentioned, we in IED have had to assess very quickly ADB initiatives to support countries in the region to recover from the pandemic through real-time evaluations. Many of these innovations will be discussed in the coming days. Let me finish by saying that I'm looking forward to a lively and engaging discussion from our resource speakers and participants. Judging from past AEWs, I don't think you'll be disappointed if you join me in this. Enjoy the sessions. Marami pong salamat and thank you very much.
好的，感谢西门内斯局长的精彩致辞，也再次感谢您和您带领的团队在亚洲评价周活动中所做出的杰出的贡献。刚刚各位嘉宾分别从不同的角度出发，带领大家回顾了绩效评价工作所取得的成果，展望了美好的未来，同时也对本次评价周寄予了厚望。相信本届亚洲评价周定会不负厚望，将成为一场高知识密度的思想的盛会，一场凝聚共识、汇聚力量的交流的盛会。 朋友们，今年的绩效评价领域取得了很多的成就，但同时我们也面临了挑战，也是长期的、艰巨的。加强问责，提升资源的利用效率，通过学习来提升发展的进程，需要评价界不断的提供更高质量、更高效率的知识服务。中国有一句古诗：“问渠哪得清如许，未有源头活水来。”为了推动区域内评价工作再上一个新台阶，我们必须不断的补充的新知识，持续搭建好绩效评价领域能力建设和交流的平台，为这项事业的发展源源不断的注入新的能量。展望未来，亚洲地区加强绩效评价能力建设任重而道远，需要我们持续搭建好亚洲评价周这一个高质量的沟通的平台，推动评价领域的交流学习。在这里，我们再次以热烈的掌声感谢朱宗明副部长，感谢严永忠管理总干事，感谢西蒙内斯局长的精彩致辞。现在我宣布2022年亚洲评价周开幕式到此结束。下面请亚洲开发银行苏利亚女士介绍评价周接下来的3天的整体日程安排。
Thank you so much, VP Liu, and thank you very much to all our leaders for some very inspirational messages. And it's actually a really good cue to take a little reflective path on what Minister Zhu called the AEW ship. And of course, which other leaders reflected on that, actions really need to inspire and life is not so simple anymore. So a little reflection to look back, to look forward, where we are and where we are set to go, and why this AEW is quite so special. The AEW platform, since its inaugural, has addressed multiple dimensions of not only development, but evaluation as a discipline. The reach of the AEW has been expanding from informing policy formulation, building country capabilities in M&E, focusing on quality and results, and addressing uncertainties. Altogether, contributing to development effectiveness towards better quality of lives. And like our DG mentioned, inclusive, green, resilience is all of those dimensions that need to be integrated in better quality of lives. As we are aware, the last 2 years have stretched institutions and societies all over the world to their limits. The factoids shared by our DG are clear evidence of this. Countries are now gradually beginning to revitalize their economies. With this backdrop, this AEW over the next 3 days stands ready to capture learnings across various sector and thematic tracks, tap cutting-edge tacit and explicit knowledge of interdisciplinary experts to share solutions from evaluation know-how for building institutional resilience, leading to resilient communities. The sub-themes for this AEW extend to retooling evaluation as a discipline, driving collective action, and enhancing the influence of learnings from evaluation studies, all forming a framework for that concept of reframing that we are trying to address this week. The design of this Asian Evaluation Week is to provide participants an opportunity to deep dive into topical areas and join all sessions for which this agenda is fairly consolidated. The agenda is available on the Asian Evaluation website, and I do really urge you to kindly register and be part of the solution towards reframing. On behalf of the Asian Evaluation Week team, I again wish to thank you all for engaging and wish you constructive deliberations ahead. I take the liberty of including us at ADB and Scott's team at AFDI for excellent collaborations for this AEW and moving ahead.